What's up, guys? Kelly McKay here, aka HVAC Millionaire, right here on YouTube. Please subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and leave me a comment below. Today, I want to talk to you about, first of all, one of the reasons why I haven't been on here is because I've been suffering from a condition that just came on, and in the past, I was able to just go to the chiropractor, get fixed up, and be fine, but that is not the case this time. I'll talk about that in another video because what I've found that's helped the most, everybody else on YouTube with this particular condition are not talking about it. Lots of chiropractors are giving you great advice to give you a little bit of temporary relief, but not relief that, you know, will cure it. And I think I'm on my way to recovery here of being cured. So we got some scrap metal going on behind me, as you can tell. I've pretty much resigned from scrap metal, from scrapping anymore. There was years where I just scrapped all the time, and as the business continued to grow and we got more scrap metal, I know some of you guys don't even mess with it. You just pay somebody, or somebody gives you a little bit of money, or maybe you just give it away. That's just completely up to you if you want to mess with it or not. If you got a place to put it, it's not that bad of an idea, as long as you can find people to help you scrap it, so you're not doing it all yourself. It is back-breaking work, really tough. Takes a lot of your extra time, and some people just don't find it worth it. So I personally, I like to do it. It always provides, you know, $10,000 to $15,000 worth of cash every year. So that's just at my current level of business. I mean, I can't imagine once we double the business what that would be worth. You know, it's probably going to be double worth the scrap metal, and it kind of depends on what prices are doing also. But today, more importantly, I wanted to talk about marketing, because a lot of people right now with the weather, you know, it was like 60 degrees yesterday. This morning it's probably 30. I'm sure some of you guys are going through that same up and down weather, which we always experience this time of year. And so people are thinking like, okay, well, how do I get more customers? I need to get more customers. What's the best way to spend my marketing dollars to get more customers? Well, I've done just about every form of advertising possible in our 14 years of being in business. Of course, I've tried just about everything, from, you know, having a posting on at my local grocery store, to park benches, to scorecards. Like we've got our local country club, just a little country club. We still do that. That's one of the things that, you know, for as much as it costs, it's a two-year deal. It doesn't cost much. Might as well do it. I've done the cups, you know, like when you go to your local restaurants and it's either on the table, it's printed on the table. I don't know if that's even a thing other places, but in the Midwest, it's a thing. And or printed on their cups, their plastic cups that they serve everybody. I've done print, you know, I've been in newspapers back when newspaper was still going. Never spent much on the phone book, and it was kind of out of its, you know, it was on its last heyday back when I started the business in 2008. So never really did much in that. There were still people in my area doing full 1 or 2 page ads, and they were probably fairly successful with it. But obviously, we're not getting phone books anymore. Or, you know, I've not seen a phone book delivered to my house in a couple of years, so that's pretty much gone. All kinds of online marketing, direct mail, postcards, billboards, TV, radio, email. I can't say that one is any better than the other. The biggest part about marketing is just tracking it and making sure that you are getting a return on your investment. I think for our industry, you got to think, you know, when we're looking at profit loss statement, we've got, you know, we want to be sure that every job we walk away with at least 50% gross margin. So 50% gross profit. And so that's before we pay expenses and all that stuff. So you have to consider what you spent on the marketing versus what it brought in. I mean, that has to be a factor. We can't just keep throwing money away to something that's producing nothing for us. I'm completely guilty. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on marketing. Probably less than some out there and more than a lot out there. So we've done Facebook, we've done all types of the internet marketing, SEO, of course, Google Local Services or Google Guaranteed, whatever you want to call it, whatever they're currently calling themselves. Let's see, SEO and Google Ads. So we've done it all. The main thing with all of it is just tracking. But let's talk about the 4 ways to market or choose your market, because there's an age-old question of what, if I have a taco stand, who are my best customers? And some of you might be answering, oh, well, people who love tacos, people who can afford those tacos, right? All of these things. Well, this is kind of the way with our HVAC and plumbing businesses, is that the correct answer is hungry people. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to have the best tacos or we have to be the lowest price or anything like that. If we got hungry people, then we got customers, and they'll pay more actually if they're hungry than they would if they weren't hungry. So same thing with our businesses. We're looking for hungry customers. We want people who need our services or are in the market for our services. Ideally, replacement services, because think of this when it comes to replacement versus repair. It's not that we don't want some service work and we want some repair work, but how many service calls do you got to do to make the same amount of money that you did for a replacement opportunity? Just on a residential business. We're like 99% residential in my company. So we are capable of doing commercial. We just haven't even broken into that really yet. Even after 14 years, we got a couple of small commercial accounts, but they're primarily filled with residential equipment. There's still a huge thing that we could do, just chosen not to. I don't know why, but probably in the next year or 2, we'll probably break into that. Really want to perfect what we're doing in the residential side right now. But when it comes to say direct mail or radio or TV, like this is like a shotgun blast, right? Like how when you shoot a shotgun, the pellets just spray everything, versus, one of my mentors said, we want to go deep before we go wide. And at the time when he said that, I didn't have enough knowledge or awareness to realize that he was right. So I thought, oh, that's stupid. Let's get our message out there to as many people as possible. But the reality is he's right. And the reason he was right is because we want to target our clientele. So I want to talk to you about targeting that clientele. So there's several different ways, and I'm going to start with the most profitable and the one that's going to give you the biggest ROI. And that is going to be your existing customer list. Like acres of diamonds right in your backyard. You've got customers. Create an offer and reach out to them by phone, by email, by text. And, you've got to be so much of the business. People expect to just throw out an ad or something and the phone's just going to blow up. And that's just not the case. Business doesn't work that way. You've got to be on offense. You can't just be on defense waiting for the phone to ring. You've got to get into the offensive mode and go after it. Like go, score some points, And so that's the first thing. Go back through your customer list. The next thing is, and the thing about your existing customers, they like you, they know you, they trust you, they've already used your services before, and we're probably, if you're like me, then you're guilty of not reaching out to those customers often enough anyways. So reach out to them and just let them know, hey, we're still here, here's what's going on in our business. Just touch base with them. Nothing bad can come from that. It's going to be a good experience for them and keep you top of mind aware. So the next time that they need something, then they hopefully will call you again if you did not capture them into your maintenance agreement program. Hopefully you have one of those. If you don't, get on it immediately. The next thing is going to be demographics, right? So demographics is basically saying that, okay, I want my customer to own their home. I want them to have a certain amount of income. I want them to be a certain age. Like, these are my ideal clients. So that's demographics. And there's different ways and different ways to go about finding that information out to make sure that you try to market directly to those people that are in your demographic ideal customer. Next way is geographic, which is just the geographic location that you'd like to do more work in. This could be just a neighborhood, for instance. A great way to market to that would just be create a direct mail piece. So a direct response advertising, which is just trying to elicit a response. You know, when you send them something, it gets them to respond and take action, to either call you and book a call or send you money to purchase something. So for instance, if you've got a list of clientele who do not own maintenance agreements, well, send them an agreement. Figure up an agreement, mail it to them with an offer, and you'll start getting some checks back. So demographics, geographic. One thing about geographic also is that could be helpful. There's a couple of different people who talk about this, but you might want to go into the neighborhood that you're trying to penetrate and enter into, and just drive around and see what's going on. And this is going to help you with the next thing I'm talking about. See what's going on. Do they have a bunch of broke down vehicles in their driveways? Are they sitting out front, you know, on the porch in wife beaters drinking beers? I don't know. I mean, but those might not be our ideal customers, right? We want to make sure that this looks like a market, a geographic location that we would like to have a bigger presence in. But driving around there can help. And there's even somebody who is in our industry who deals with the financial side who recommended actually going out there as a part of your marketing and just driving around that neighborhood to see what's going on and to be seen. Because if they see you driving around your neighborhood, they might just give you a call next time they see you. Or they're going to recognize your vehicles the more they see you as you're driving around town. So we have your existing customer list, geographic, and then demographics. And then we also have another way, which is identity. I just call it identity, which just means, you know, if they live at a country club and they're primarily golfers, like they live on the grounds of a country club that has a golf course that they have free access to if they live in this community, well, they're probably golfers, or at least a good portion of them, for instance. Well, that's like a group of people who enjoy the same activities or believe in the same things. And so you could use some really well-written, crafted copywriting to talk directly to those people to get them to understand. You know, it could be something that compels them to read what you've sent them. So another identity could be that, you know, it could be the local sports team, like the local football team, or if they belong to specific groups, for instance, such as, you know, Boy Scouts of America or Girl Scouts, or you know, in the Midwest, 4-H maybe, you know, the rural country farmers who raise livestock. And some, you know, if they got kids, they might be really active in 4-H. Another thing could be, you know, soccer teams, for instance. If you sponsored a soccer team, well, that's a group of people who, you know, have kids who are playing soccer, and they might have parents that are your ideal client. It's whatever your ideal customer is, that's who we're trying to find and market to. So that's pretty much it. Those four things are going to make a big difference to penetrate that market, to shoot with a rifle instead of a shotgun, and then get the clients who are actually hungry. You know, like back to the taco stand. If they're hungry, they're going to be your best clients. Well, if they've got 12 to 15-year-old systems that are in need of replacement and are going to be breaking down, well, those are your ideal clients. If they have the income and they're the age and all the stuff that you would like to do more business with. We always have those customers that we really enjoy doing business with and the ones that we don't. And remember, when it comes to this, I've talked to you guys multiple times about raising your prices. That's the first thing Ellen Rohr says. She's a kind of a financial guru. She's been in our industry a long time, helping out contractors and doing consulting work and stuff. Well, Ellen says double your prices. Well, she's right. You know, our goal is to get as much money from each transaction as possible as business owners, and to pay ourselves, because there's just so much risk involved with being in business. So that's the goal of the business, is to make money. And there's nothing wrong with that or shady about that. And I didn't say you couldn't serve your customers at the extremely high level, but you can do all of those things. You can have integrity and be honest and be hardworking and wow your customers with your service. But you do all that to make money, because the business needs money to survive and thrive, and to survive during economic downturns, during unforeseen circumstances. Because there's always going to be something that comes up that you're not prepared for, and that's just part of owning a business. And so you need to have some reserves or a line of credit, something to help you get through a troubled time if one comes up. And it's really not if it comes up, it's when it comes up. So when it comes to your pricing, there was a study done with 3 different wines. They just flat out labeled the wines. This one, X amount of dollars, which is really high priced. This one in the mid-range, and this one in the low range. And all the people could see this. You know, they could see the prices, and they each tasted each wine. And the people who drank the high-priced wine, I mean, everybody drank each wine, but they all said that the high-priced wine was the best, the middle one was okay, and the other one wasn't that great. Well, it was the same wine. So there's a perceived value in price. When people pay more price, I'm not saying you just raise your prices and you don't do anything extra in the deliverables, what you're actually doing for the client. You want to try to do more. So your value that you create equals that price. But there is still a perceived value just in paying more for something. So that's it, guys. Wanted to talk to you mainly about marketing. I know it's top of mind for everybody this time of year. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you'll take some notes and use some of the information that I shared. If you're interested in learning more and running your business a lot, growing your business, then consider watching our free training. I'll post the link in the description, and booking a strategy session with me or the other coach to join HVAC Millionaire Coaching. So that is still going, thriving. We enjoy it. We got great people in that group, and can't wait to add more. So love you guys. Go make money. Boom.